I think one of the big concerns people have about earning free flights and the things that they hear and read about how other people are doing it is that it can sound really time consuming. So let's go over a couple of the common myths about how people earn free flights, and then I'll give you the reality of how I use some simple strategies so that it doesn't take me a lot of time to get at least one business class, high end luxury flight every year somewhere exotic. First big myth is that you have to spend a lot of money on the credit cards. Now, if you're counting on the miles that you earn to only come from spending money, buying things at the grocery store, charging stuff at restaurants, if that was your only source of miles, then yeah, you would have to spend a lot of money. But the reality is the bonus is what really matters. The bonus that you get when you sign up for a new card is way more significant than what you're going to get from the spending that you do on a card, unless you're some kind of baller and you're spending 50 grand a year on your credit card. So most banks are going to require that you spend around $3,000 in the first 3 months when you get a new card in order to get that sign-up bonus. And typically, I apply for 2 new cards a year, maybe 3 in a really ambitious year. And so I'm earning at least 100,000 miles just from those sign-up bonuses. Now, let's compare that to the 12,000 miles a year or so I might earn from just what I spend on my card if I spend about $1,000 a month. You can see right away that I'm making way more from the sign-up bonuses than I am from the miles that I'm earning from my spending. Although it's nice to have the spending miles too. They definitely help. Second big myth that people have is that you have to apply for tons of cards. And this isn't exactly true. I mean, technically, I guess if you think 2 cards a year is a lot, then yeah, you have to apply for lots of cards. But it's not as many as you might think. So in reality, I'm applying for 2 cards a year. I'm getting 100,000 miles out of that deal. And I repeat that process over and over again. And I'll talk about that a bit more in the course. So it's important to understand what your goals are if you really want to get the most out of these sign-up bonuses and your spending on these cards. First, you might want to ask yourself, do I just want to fly domestic? And am I okay with a coach seat? If so, you could easily fly 3 or 4 times round trip just within the United States with that 100,000 miles that you could earn a year from credit card bonuses. Now, if you really want to do like I do and fly business class to Asia or Europe or somewhere like that, you'll probably need to sign up for at least 2 cards a year and spend a little bit on those cards to get enough miles to do that. That's my system, but that might not be right for you. Now, the other thing you might want to do is save up for some kind of big bucket list trip where you want to take your significant other, maybe a few of the kids or the grandparents on a trip around the world or something overseas. If you do that, keep in mind you're probably going to have to save up for a few years to earn those kind of miles because that's going to take hundreds of thousands of miles. You're talking probably, even for just coach seats, you're going to spend maybe 50, 60,000 miles per person round trip, and then multiply that by the number of people you want to take somewhere. Hope that helps you have some realistic expectations and maybe puts your minds at ease a little bit about what's really involved in trying to earn free flights.